Hey guys, it's Jacob. I think it's been about a year since my last video, but I'm back and I wanted to do a video on my 2015 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. It's a 2015 Sahara Edition. The big thing here is that, with my old Jeep, it was the 1994 YJ. I've had my 2015 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited for about 6 months now, and it has pretty much been a night and day difference. Before I get this video going, I just want to say that if you are in the DMV area and you've got a cool car that you'd like me to come check out or anything like that, or even show me around it, feel free to reach out to me at jenkinsjacob4@gmail.com. So after owning this Jeep for about 6 months, coming back from the 1994, I'd say the biggest thing I've noticed is that Jeep really brought the Wrangler into the modern era of cars. With this Wrangler, it feels like an actual car, compared to the older ones, which had the leaf spring suspension, the really short wheelbase. This Jeep, in particular, with the 4 doors, actually makes it livable. Like, you can actually daily drive this car, and it's not, a pain or anything like that. Of course, it does have its ups and downs. It's a Jeep, but it does what it's made to do, and that's the most important thing. If you're wondering why Jeep even made a 4-door Wrangler in the first place, Jeep started back in World War II, as most people know. And then throughout the decades, they got a little bit more advanced. In the 70s, you had your CJ5, CJ7. In the 80s, came around with the YJ with the square headlights. And then the TJ came along in the early 2000s, which, had airbags and, coil spring suspension. Crazy, right? That's like the standard since the 90s, but Jeep was kind of late to the game. But in 2007, the JK Unlimited model came out, and it was mainly because Jeep was seeing so much success with their Cherokee and the XJ, and they thought, why not just do the exact same thing to the Wrangler? So Jeep extended the Wrangler's wheelbase, added 2 more doors, and it honestly just completely changes the game for the Wrangler. It's no longer just the weekend vehicle. You can actually daily drive this car, and it just makes the Wrangler a completely different vehicle and opens it up to so many other markets. As far as the exterior goes, of course, the first thing I want to talk about is 4 doors, because that's what kind of makes, that's the whole point of this car. Add 2 more doors to it. And as far as, rear seating goes, it's not the most comfortable in the world. There's not a ton of amenities back here. You've got, if you want to put down your windows, you actually have that. And you have 2 cup holders. The seats aren't the most comfortable in the world, but the big thing is just the fact that you can see 3 more people relatively comfortably, while the 2-door is pretty much a pinch. And I already unzipped that, but you can chuck that up and you can see how much trunk space you have back here. It's actually a lot. The seats fold down flat, and that's pretty much the deal breaker with a lot of people, especially people with families. They're not gonna want a teeny bit of trunk space. And while we're still around on the outside, I also want to talk about the trim level. So this is the Sahara Edition. It's pretty much a styling package, which is pretty nice. You do get heated seats. You get a normal 12-volt household plug-in right under the center console. You get nicer wheels. You're gonna get the matching fenders with the paint, but Sahara is mostly an appearance package. It's not really gonna help you off-road. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And as far as the interior goes, it's a Jeep. You're gonna get Jeep stuff, lots of pretty much plastic, everywhere. But, who cares? It's a Jeep. That's kind of what you're expecting to get. That's what you're gonna get. I've got the 5-speed automatic. Guys, don't come at me. I know the 6-speed's an option, but I had the 6-speed. I'm done with it for now. I'll come back to it. But other than that, you have a little storage cubby up top, lockable glove box, lockable center console. As for the infotainment goes, it's not great. It's not great, but it does a job. It'll do Bluetooth. It can play CDs, anything like that. I can't say I've ever used the GPS on this. I'll usually just use Waze. But if needed, it does have a GPS. And this touchscreen actually is an option. Most come with just a normal CD, so that is also a nice touch. As far as the steering wheel goes, cruise control, pick up a phone call, change the song, volume. It's got pretty much the essentials. Same goes with the gauge cluster. You've got your speed, RPMs, temperature, fuel gauge. That's the basics. And down here, everything is very just utilitarian. You got your vents, all your window switches are in the middle because, if you want to take the doors off, you can't have window switches on the door. Down here, you've just got air conditioning, temperature, and just, simple buttons. It's a very simple utilitarian car. And coming out of the interior, something I do want to talk about really quick is the doors, because one thing that I just find annoying with the doors is that there's no hydraulic or anything as far as the hinge goes. So if you're downhill or just literally trying to open the car door, like, it'll just go. Like, there's nothing. It's just a freaking loose door. I know everyone's gonna say, oh, it's a Jeep. Like, oh, who cares? But it's kind of annoying getting in it. So just keep that in mind. And of course, with a Jeep, you can't forget about the top. So I've got the soft top on this puppy, and I was kind of hesitant. I didn't really know what to do, either, get the hard top or the soft top, but, my dad got it for me. So, I kind of just went with whatever he got me. But I honestly really like the soft top. A lot of people would think that it would be really, really noisy. And of course, it shakes, it's a soft top, but under 60 miles an hour, you hardly ever notice it. And once you get to highway speeds, you do notice it a little bit. It's gonna get loud just because this thing's shaped like a brick. But the great thing about the soft top is the fact that you can go convertible mode in literally 30 seconds. And I'm gonna show you guys really quick. So to start, you grab visors, chuck them to the side. You're gonna have a latch on each side. Just open her up, chuck that out and away. And we got this, another hatch. Out she goes. You just grab right under here, pop that out, and you just fold her back. Easy. And then after that, pretty much everything around the driver and the passenger side is completely open. The rest of it is a different story. It's pretty much just, taking off windows, taking off the back window. So I'm just gonna roll through that really quick. All right. Right here, you're gonna roll it up just past these little grabbers up here. Get everything inside, and you're just gonna roll her up. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Taking the top down, just gotta make sure everything's nice and snug. But, it's not gonna go anywhere. I think even at highway speeds, you should be fine with the top down. But in my opinion, that is my favorite thing about this Jeep. It's the fact that you can take the top down in literally like 5 minutes. With my 1994 Jeep, the soft top was like a tarp. So there was like buttons and a lot more zippers, and it was like a giant blanket basically. But this folds nice and neat right into the trunk. And the best thing about the four-door, you can just store the windows right there. You don't have to store it inside your house or anything like that. So yeah, I think with the four-door and the soft top combo, it's just awesome. So yeah, let's go for a drive. Okay, so driving the Jeep Wrangler, and I wanted to give just my overall review of how I've liked the car over like the last 6 months. And I can say that it's a good car. Like, Jeep did a good job with this car. Coming from my 1994, this is such a huge upgrade. Like, I went from driving around in like a giant metal box to now driving around in like an actual vehicle, you know, it feels like a car, which is like by far the greatest thing, and you feel a lot more safe while you're doing it. But overall, I've really enjoyed having the Jeep. Of course, you know, being able to throw the top off in like 5 minutes, being able to carry more people, being able to stow things away. You know, I'm over at college, you know, I'm constantly packing and loading the trunk out of this thing. So overall, yeah, it's just been a really good car. So some people will say that Jeeps overall just aren't great vehicles, and to a degree I can somewhat agree with you on that, but you got to think about what they're made for. Jeeps are made to be these rugged off-road mobiles that can take you anywhere, and you can throw the top off, take the doors off. It's supposed to be the all-around just like adventure vehicle. It's not supposed to be like your Mercedes or a BMW. It's supposed to just be a Jeep. And sometimes I'll get frustrated with this car, like, oh my God, it feels like it's gonna fall apart when I hit a bump, or the soft top noise is annoying. But you gotta take the good with the bad. You know, it's not gonna feel like a modern luxury SUV. It's gonna feel like a Jeep. And as far as the powertrain goes, you've got the 3.6 liter Pentastar V6, and that's kicking out 280 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque, and it's fine. You know, it doesn't really surprise me. I know the 4-liter inline six from the early 2000s was like the golden like Jeep engine. This one does the job. You know, it's fine. It's a V6. It's not the Hemi. It's not the 396 that they're throwing in the new JL. But by all means, it does the job. But it's good. And miles per gallon, oh boy, I'm getting like 15. Like I'm averaging like 15. It's not great. On the highway, you'll probably get closer to around like 20. That's the thing. If you're looking for a more fuel efficient Jeep, the new JL Wranglers, which are the 2018 and above, with the 2-liter 4-cylinder turbos, you'll get, I don't know, 24, 25 miles per gallon probably. They're a lot better in the city and even better on the highway. And then you've got the 4xe Wrangler, which gets you around 50 miles per gallon if you're consistently running in the hybrid mode with a charged battery. And that's the thing for me. I love this car. I love Jeeps in general. They are such like just freaking awesome cars. They're not great for the environment. They're just not, you know, paying for gas isn't cheap either. But after 6 months of owning this car, I've got to say I've really enjoyed it. It's been a great Jeep, and I would totally recommend a Wrangler to those who are looking into one. But it just comes down to what exactly you want in a Jeep. This Jeep is totally fine. Like, it feels like a car, it's comfortable, it can do anything like Jeep related you want it to do. But if you're looking for more tech, better fuel economy, you're probably better off going with a newer model. But something I definitely want to touch on is just the fact that like Jeep has totally transformed within the last like 30 years. You know, they were starting out with these little buggies, you know, just big metal tin cans basically. They were not tin cans, they were good sturdy cars, but they were big metal cans, you know, no airbags, no nothing, very just pure off-roading cars. And now the technology has just advanced so much, you know, in this thing, of course, you know, now standard airbags, coil spring suspension, a great soft top system. This thing's got an Alpine stereo factory, it's got a subwoofer, and it just actually feels like a modern SUV. That was something that I was really missing in my other Wrangler. Super fun vehicle, I love that car, but it was really hard to live with. And this thing, you can daily drive it. You can go on long trips, take it down to the beach, drive it to work. It's just such a more capable vehicle on the road and off the road compared to the older models. All right, guys, that's going to be it for my review of my 2015 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Sahara. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm going to try and dish out a video about once a week now. So yeah,